Instrument, can you hear me? Sound check, sound check. All right. Brain fart. Hey, Patrick.
Okay.
So I masked out my those direct messages. And Robert Coons says it's too late for me, Jay. I was like, no worries, you were in the direct message list. He goes, I'm just another number stiff. Like, he's one of the masses now. I mean Mike.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sorry. I'm slightly under the weather. My wife's got strep. So fun times over here. Yeah. Just I'm a little out of it right now, but I'll be okay. Yeah, Mike thumbs up for this. So just wanted to check in the list there. Yeah. Awesome. Dun, dun. I got all of Alan's notes here too. Something I shouldn't right now, and hopefully I don't crash everything. Did I miss something? Should be able to get to it. Not there. Shit. Right, did it. How's everyone tonight? Hey, Will. Well, I know it's a holiday weekend. Do you have any availability on Sunday? Just let me know. This Sunday.
Hello, Will. Yep.
I understand perfectly if you do not. Okay. I think we may be doing our, we'll just find out in time. We may want to do our, my brain is off, Druid discussion. I'm okay. I'm a little under the weather. You know, my wife's sick, but she's working. She's crazy. But I'm just a little run down here, but I'm okay. I'm just complaining. And we're missing Mike. Mike's MIA. So, but we're starting here. So, good evening, everyone. It's Aaron and me so far right now. Hopefully, Mike will be on shortly for a fun Legends and Lore discussion tonight. Now, Alan Crowley was coming on, and then he realized he couldn't. So, but he did come on for a really good discussion on Sunday night, which was really awesome. So, I hear a noise from somewhere. It's probably this one. So, Alan did leave me a whole list of notes, which was awesome, and we're looking forward to, that's what it is. Looking forward to having some fun on this discussion. Fiends of Greyhawk tonight, and this could go any number of directions. So, Friends, it's Friends of Greyhawk. It's the Super Friends of Greyhawk. Yes, it's like Wonder Twin powers. Yeah. So Anna and I are going to try and get through this one here, because I know we have our favorites, and we have those that we use, and then we have those that are old and ancient. that go
Yeah.
way back. But before all that, let me do this. I want to say thanks because look at this. I'm going to go to the signups for Virtual GrowCon 4. So out of all these games, we only have, and the seminars don't count because they're there just for placeholders, right? 96 to 100 here, just so you know. But if you look through these, there are only 17 events left with open
Mm-hmm.
seats. And some of them, like one seat here, one seat here. 4 for Ghost of Saltmarsh here, 4 for Spring Break with Ron Reaver. Amy's has 4. Dawn Chaser's got 1. Another Greyhawk Reborn, 1 left all along the Watchtower. That's the middle of the night with Armin. That's so he's got 2 signups there. Greyhawk, another Greyhawk Reborn, 4. But look, all the rest of these are all sold out. Now this Brunch in the Dying Earth has 1 sign up. Ghost of Saltmarsh on the Albee is 1 left. Greyhawk Reborn, Silent Citadel, 2 left. That's a seminar. Another Ghost of Saltmarsh, 4 left. Another Greyhawk Reborn, 3 left. Greyhawk Reborn, 2 left. The Zeef game, Indicris's games got half filled, so that's way better than last year. 4 left for this Greyhawk Reborn, and that's an SD Expert. So we're really have cranking out the signups this year, and thank you. So this is going to be. I may actually start asking for a couple more events here and there, just because we're really, if we can pick some times or whatever, we yeah. Lando, I think they're all going to be filled. So I know he came on and I forget where it was. I think it was Discord. He came on somewhere and said that he wanted to, but wasn't sure if he could. So but I appreciate you checking into that. So yep. Oh, there's a lot that are sold out. We've actually added tickets to a couple events, and they sold out as well. The additions after the fact. So great job, everyone. Great job. Really filling the seats here. It's exciting because it hasn't been four Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days, and this is. Hey, Bill, good to see you.
Yeah, I got complaints.
What about your game filled already?
Yeah, people said, "Oh, where do I go and get a badge?" And I said, "Filled up in 20 minutes or something." It was like filled instantly. So I'm going to have a little teaser. I'm going to run a test run of a I'm not going to run exactly the same scenario as I will run at the convention, but I will run a rehearsal that will be a very similar mission, but not the same mission. So I can test out a few monsters and my procedures and stuff. And I will pick if you're interested in that, and if you're among my I will start with my top tier patrons and ask them if I can fill out 4 seats of them. Then I'll or 5 seats. I have one already that missed that I will be on that one. So that will be
Anna, put in another event for like on Friday morning or whenever you want to do it, and tell them you got to sign up then.
Okay.
You can stream it as a non-highlighted stream, or you can just
I was thinking
without.
about because it will be like a testing. We'll see. Yeah. So
way.
somehow I'll get my top patrons. You
awesome.
I haven't forgotten you. So yeah.
Yes. Well, you snooze, you lose when it comes to, especially when it comes to convention signups. So one other thing. Before I was waiting, I was hoping John was going to hit a raid in while we were talking here because I always want them to miss. They always miss stuff. But this Philadelphia area gaming expo, January 5th to the 7th. I'm one of the VIPs there, and if you I don't care if you've already played and you want to again. I am running Horror and Hools Part 1 at 9 a.m. and Horror and Hools Part 2 at 9 a.m. Saturday. This is Friday and Saturday of that. So, and then I have two events. So you want to live stream your RPG? That's Friday at 3, and then this is the World of Greyhawk Editions Change, Greyhawk Indoors, and that's Joe Block and me.
Cool.
Going to be there live, and that's going to be live streamed as well, and that's Saturday at 2. So, and that is in Oaks, PA, on January 5th to the 7th. So, just so you're aware, that's coming up. It's the first year for this con. I'm looking forward to that too. So,
yeah.
Yep. All right. Hi, Mike.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So let's go
They're here
back.
to save us. Yep.
Let's go back to an old. Let's go back to the beginning. Best of Dragon Volume 2. Look, there's even a $5.29 sticker on this print copy or whatever. Oriental Ventures is in there. Let's go to page 68. It's one of the oldest articles that exists on these topics. Almost there. That's vampires. That's Leonard. Leonard's got stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Vampires. Look at lycanthropy. We're almost there. Blueprint for Lich. It's more Leonard. Oh my gosh, it's all Leonard. Leonard. There we go. The Politics of Hell.
Yep.
A really cool article. And if you have any
Mhm.
time, this is Best of Dragon Volume 2. It's also in number Dragon 28. So this is a really cool take on, and it says here, this is not considered official doctrine of the ED&D or the Roman Catholic Church. There you go. So they said it right up front. This is a fantasy take on
Disclaimer.
things. Yes. So, and it is a fairly decent sized article
Mhm.
talking about all the things that are going on here, and then you got Belial and Astaroth in here as well. And Belial makes it to Monster Manual 2, I think, but Astaroth does not, if I recall.
That's an article up my alley. I
Yeah.
can't think of much more interesting topic than the politics of hell. That's kind of awesome.
So,
Yeah.
so you like the discussion here? I mean, it tries to
I'm
explain.
not sure. I'm not sure. It might be a little bit too mechanistic for me. I
Right.
don't remember. I haven't read it in a few years, so I'm a little bit fussy on all the details. But if I remember correctly, it might be a little bit too mechanistic
Okay.
in that sense, so to speak. I like when they're a bit more fluid. So, but now I'm using weird terms here, so that might be. Yeah.
It's kind of. I know what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was doing an article to explain why Asmodeus in the Monster Manual 1 is like the head of the leader of hell now, not you know what I mean?
And we have to put it in the context of back then. It was a marvelous article. It was ahead of its time, and I think really put an interesting perspective on things. So yeah, it got it started.
Definitely. So Mike, you ever read this one?
I don't think I've read that old one now.
It's cool. And who wrote this?
I need to open it again here.
Alexander von Thorn. I don't know who that is. Oh, so Classic D&D reprints tonight, tomorrow night, Portrait Workshop, and then I'm gonna do something else in addition to that. So I'll have a second giveaway for tomorrow night during the game. So
I assume everything that's come in D&D since then is based off of this article now.
Well, this is 79, so this is right when the first, like right at the Monster Manual, isn't it? Monster Manual 1 came out right then. That was the first publication that came out of all of them.
What was it, 98 you said?
No, 79.
79, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool, Will. So this is August. This is in Dungeon Dragon 28 and Best of Dragon Volume 2, which has some really cool stuff in it, but it's much more wordier than Best of Dragon Volume 3, and it's riddled with stuff by Leonard Lakofka as always, which Leonard stuff is everywhere in here. But it's a really cool one. It gives you some idea on the hierarchy of the devils.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Will. I think the first Hell articles I read was the Revisited. I think they were called Politics of Hell Revisited. Ed Greenwood. It was like a two-parter.
I think he creates, according to Alan Grohe, Armanos is it's Dragon 91, right? I don't know if I have that one.
That's more in my wheelhouse because I didn't start collecting till like issue 80 something.
Okay. So we go really back into the let me see if I have that. I don't think unless that had articles pertaining to another previous discussion, I'm gonna have number 91 on my machine, and I'm not gonna dig it up now. It looks like I do not have 91. Okay, well there you go. Don't need to. Sorry, I can't bring that up. So but this is a start, and then Go ahead, Anna. Go.
I was going to say the politics of hell is interesting because they simply at once upon a time there was no devils, only God and the angel. Oh, sorry, only God and the angels in heaven. It's interesting that this really ties into Christian roots. That and remember the old paladin and stuff like that. We can tell where the game came from, so to speak.
Right.
Now it's not, and now these things are I think that the satanic panic took care of those roots, so to speak. So they unrooted the game, which I think is for good, so to speak, for the better. Yeah, because I think it's much better if it lives in its own universe and you don't tie it into the real one in that sense. It's not real religions or that this is make believe, and I think it's important to tell that to people who have real beliefs of stuff that this is just make believe.
So, what I noticed is that with IUs and all the early days, the baddie, the real antitheses are demons, not devils, for the most part in Greyhawk.
Yeah, they seem to, and it's interesting because that also seemed to, and I like that you use the term fiend, and I think it's important that we talk a little bit about the nature of the beast, so to speak, first, or the beasts, because that has both changed, and it's kind of interesting that these terms in the beginning there was like roots in ancient myth and real world myth and religion. That's where D&D came from, so to speak.
In the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. In the beginning, a lot of these terms they come from it, meaning the arch devils and stuff like that that are taken out of ancient myth and lore and religion and stuff. Meaning anyone who read the Bible and a lot of other old mythology, they recognize these names. And then later on, you invented a whole range of other ones, the Slads, and there were Demodams and various devils and stuff that had no. They
Demons.
were made exactly. There were all sorts of other fiends that were invented for the game to function in the D&D universe that had no real counterparts in real mythology, so to speak. And that's where I think the game takes off and it becomes interesting. You get the alignment spectrum and you get their different natures and stuff. And that's where I think it's really interesting. But now we're into first edition AD&D and that kind of evolved over products over time, so to speak.
Right. Okay. Mike, your thoughts on the early era here that we're discussing?
I mean, you're just going to use what you got on hand.
That's
right?
a good point.
Right, what you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And I also think that this is one of these areas where you, in your own campaign, you can tweak this and you can use cherry pick, tweak, and use it both the ones you like and or the ones you don't like and use them, so to speak, and use them in a way in your campaign that really that suits your theme and your style, so to speak, because that's another key point that I think is really interesting that we need to discuss in these 2 hours. How do you use your feeds, so to speak? How do they act and influence your campaign, so to speak? What kind of villains are they?
So I know Anna's not going to like this question because she's not an event. What's your first memory of a published source demon or devil or fiend in an adventure, Mike?
Oh, that must be Hamlet. That was the we had. Let's see. I'm not sure that was part of the.
Hey June, thank you.
It was when we got down into the dungeons of the temple and things got weird and there was some sort of demon down there and it was played the DM we had at the time played it as some sort of Cthulhu-esque thing. We had no clue what it was and our characters just died. That was that because we were not supposed to understand it and it was beyond comprehension. He had probably read Cthulhu and I had no idea what Cthulhu was and I was just get pissed because my character didn't understand it. I didn't understand it and we just died. We rolled some failed saves and failed it and died. I think that was my first demon or fiend encounter, so to speak, the first time we did it. So yeah.
Here's my first. Mike, do you have your memory though first on what your
Mm.
Mine was very disappointing in that sense.
Mm.
Well, I don't. Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure which one you're referring
Mm.
to, Anna. When that
Exactly. Me
happened.
neither. It was we were getting down there, and that was the first, the
Here's one of my
only.
firsts. How's
Yep.
this? Vault of
Please
the
save
Drow.
me. Mm-hmm.
Vault of the Drow. You come and you go through, and you got these random, they're quote unquote random encounters. Oh, you know what? You can't even see what the hell
Uh-oh.
I'm doing. Vault of the Drow. This is early on. I'm probably missing some other ones, but this is memorable. You
Yeah.
have the encounter area with the succubus and the vampire hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Now we're talking business here. That sounds much more fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. It was a fun encounter back in the day, and it was very challenging. I don't know, Bill. Do you remember this? If you're on still, but yeah, she attempts to charm. He's a male drow vampire.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and they're just trying to entrap passers through because this is on a side tertiary passage. It's supposed to be a shortcut. Well, you know
Mm-hmm.
about shortcuts, yeah.
Yeah,
There.
they're there
So
to
yeah. No, you never. It was before your
Yep.
time. It probably was
Mm-hmm.
way before the time. That's my first memory. It's with the succubus that I can remember in a published source adventure.
Yeah.
Because this came out well before Temple of Elemental Evil. Now there's a ton of them in Temple of Elemental Evil, but in
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the first because I don't
Yeah.
recall. I don't recall in Tomoacon any demons or devils. I don't recall in Tomb of Horrors any. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I just don't remember any in those early days. White Plume Mountain, I don't recall any. Do you, Mike? No.
No.
No. So, like, yeah. So this was like the earliest one I can remember. Darsden is after this. Darsden's not 70s. This is like late 70s, early 80s for these, Will. You know, Darsden and Showcant came out, that 83, 84 era. This is super early. That's my first memory was the succubus here. I was thinking to myself, wow, that's pretty nasty. The powers that they have. So yeah, pre-vampire days. That's mine. Once again, one of my favorites of all time. And the Bible for Dark Elves and Greyhawk is D3.
Yeah.
So just to give you that. All right.
And my earliest years are very fussy when it comes to because our adventures were very fussy. They were not set in any particular settings and stuff. Hello.
Thanks, John and crew. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. That was a really cool crafting stream. We're tentatively scheduled ourselves to have a crafting stream a week from Sunday. Is that right? 2 weeks from Sunday, the 17th. Of September, we're going to have a creative jam session. It should be Jeremy from Gamescape, Moonlight Minis, Mike Disney, Darling Creepshow, and Bill the Master Crafter. And that'll be on the 17th. So, coming up. Hopefully. But it's good to see everyone. Please, we do have giveaways, exclamation point, drawing. You're joking, Johan, right? That's a joke. I thought Drow came with Forgotten Realms. I think you're busting my stones, right? I swear I hope you're doing that. Because no.
That's funny.
Yes. Yeah. No matter what Ed says, no.
We can have an add-on and have this discussion.
Yeah.
That will be fun. No, it would not be fun. It will be kind of a tedious. No. That was one of the many cool D&D inventions that were first set in Greyhawk and then became ubiquitous or set everywhere. They spread everywhere for good reason. Yeah.
Oh, you are, Johan? I thought you were kidding. All right, so
no, that's welcome.
Welcome,
Johan.
Thank you for that question. No, not even close. Not even close. Drow or Greyhawk.
Yeah.
The town, the city under dark, not Menzoberran's, and Elrel High Sinlu is all parts of Gary Gygax's children's first names. Oh yeah. Now, Vault of Drow's distinctively Greyhawk, and a lot of the stuff that is in the Drow the Underdark book by Greenwood Second Edition and all that is all Greyhawk stuff.
Yeah. Then it became they became part of many D&D settings and products and stuff over the years later. So yeah.
So June asked a great question, and I think we need to get to that. If you could sit tight, we'll get to this. And that is, and by the way, if someone throws 100 and we can get a hype train. If we get a certain level of hype, I will double the giveaway tonight. They're not called. I will never call them tieflings. What are they in Greyhawk, Anna? Tieflings.
Cambions.
Cambions and Aludemons.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, Anna's a great Aludemon. Zestra.
Oh yeah, Sestra is my
Yes,
yeah.
And Cambions.
One of my,
yes.
Yep.
But they're same thing as tieflings. So I have no problem with them, but they're not walking around, mingling with halflings in a village, hanging out, for the most part.
No, they're kind of more special in that sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Most of them do. On that one.
Most of them do. McDare, I mean, he's a Cambion. Yes, he's an absolute Cambion, and one of my favorites. And that is a great adventure. I just ran it. I literally just ran it live stream about 2 months ago. Yeah, Noldare's an awesome adventure. So, okay. So bring up your ideas and bring up ones you want to hear and chat. But we'll bounce around with some things in discussion where we want to go. And see if we can figure out some of the older visuals on demons and devils appearing and other infernals. I don't know much about when like Demodons or I know Rob Kuntz is big on the daemons because he uses them a lot in his stuff, but I haven't seen a lot of other use.
Your manual too.
I know nothing about the Blood War, other than
second edition.
Yeah, other than it is, you have the never-ending war in hell between the orcs and the goblins, right? And Grumsh has the orc army and the goblin army is Maglubi, and they just fight constantly. That's my extent of knowing about. Yeah.
Well,
you're right. Wait, Sam's dead on. Sam, you are dead on. Correct. But they were wandering monsters, weren't they? They didn't appear in any encounters. You're right, but they're wandering monsters. Sam Weiss is dead on. Correct. We'll go back to that in a second. Yep.
Yeah, but the Blood War is interesting. It was one of these things that came in, started to come in, I think, late second edition, and then became a thing in third edition, and in Planescape, and then in third edition, and it described in these two tomes. If you're interested in Fiends, these two are a must. These are the Hordes of the Abyss, Fiend Codex 1, and then Fiendish Codex 2, Tyrants of the Nine Hells. These two books are excellent. Third edition books. You can get them as PDFs, I hope, in Drive-Thru RPG. Otherwise, look for these books because they really there's a bunch of third edition material on various demons, devils, and whatnot that are super cool. These are kind of awesome because they have a lot of lore in them, not only mechanics, but there are a lot of lore that you can pick and choose from that are cool, and a lot of them actually connect to Greyhawk. So it's kind of they're really useful in a lot of sense. But the Blood War is one of these interesting. I think it started really with the kind of an alignment, lawful versus chaotic, down in the lower planes. But in my campaign, I'm more kind of smooth it out as simply politics. The powers down there, they are simply fighting it out over dominance, so to speak, and they called it the Blood War because it's going to go on forever, and it is very bloody. So it's
So lots of reminders, and that's why the audience is so awesome. Oh, of course, it doesn't go back there. I got to move this over here. I got to hit this here.
But I think we got a lot of other cool. We got a question about possession. We need to come back to that one later. So because I think that's a cool one there. Yep.
Hold that one there. All right. Yep. So now this is how old this goes back, and I think they appear in Fiend Folio. These two. But in D3 as well, there are wandering monster encounters. That's a Nycadaemon, Daemon, right? And then you have the Mesodaemon too. They're in here, Mesodaemon and Nycadaemon's in here, and of course Loth's in here too. So yep, thank you, Sam, for reminding me on that they are actually in there. So speaking of that, there's a human. A big name human who's worshiping a demon in a very early adventure. Does anyone remember it? One of the first ever.
No?
Audience, one of the first adventure, one of the greatest adventures of all time, one of the first ever adventures written. There is a
Breath the Beautiful?
Yeah, good job, Anna.
No, it was Rex Fellis. I just read it in chat.
Yeah,
So it takes
absolutely.
credit. Yeah.
So if you recall, in the village of Hamlet, I'm trying to see if I can bring that up. I could bring that up.
I thought he was a Lolth worshipper, but
yeah,
is that
Lolth's a demon.
Okay? Lolth is a demon. Yeah. But I wasn't sure that he was the one of the first. But
Lareth the Beautiful, and at the very end of the adventure, if you come here, thank you, Ron. If you come here, it says somewhere, woe be those that bring on lost wrath with his death, right? So here is Lareth, fifth level, and he's fifth level. He'll kick the crap out of a first level party. It's so nasty when you think about it. But like it says here, Lareth had better not brag in the presence of one who will inform the demon as Loth. He's been sent in this area to rule the force of men. So he is a Loth worshiper, which is very cool for this early on. So yep. That kicks it off for the Temple series. Now you have to wait 7 years to get the Temple and the Null publication, but that's it here, which is really neat. So Gary never meant to change it. Oh, really? Well, I like it as Loth. I think it makes sense because he's beautiful, and Zugdemoy is hideous until 5th edition. And they say, oh, now she, they make all these statues of her, and she's.
They even made Zugdemoy beautiful.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Later,
it's crazy. It's So
she was hideous, and then turned out they can.
Yeah, Lareth
can fix the most.
Or Taker, you got a good point there. Makes 100% time a better vampire than frickin' Thrommel. Thrommel makes no sense. So, yep. But that's pain all the way here. So, okay. Wayne. All right. Well, Wayne, someone's gonna get. Once again, just like on Sunday night, because of that, we'll do a compilation book or a rule book and an adventure. So if you want Treasures and Against the Giants, or if you want this Fiend Folio reprint and in White Plume Mountain, someone will get their choice of 2. Thank you so very much, Wayne, for doing that. And we're finishing off the month super strong here, and it's much appreciated. All right. Nommel will save us from Thrommel and So okay. We got some good questions from the audience already, so why don't we start taking some of these, and then we'll fill in what we're talking about here. Sound good, because I don't want to miss a lot of these. So, what happens when half elves have kids? A question of when the descendants of Cambion. So, all right. So, June, your specific question is on IUs having children, and Cambrians and Alu demons, and how prevalent they are.
D&D biology and family planning. I love it.
Yes.
It's awesome.
How prevalent they are in the world of I'm only going to say my old school Greyhawk, because 5th edition Greyhawk is not the game that most of us play, but you can. But there's no cat people mating with Alu demons or tieflings in my world. So
first of all, I think they're so bad. Demons and others, fiends of all kinds, are really bad parents, and a lot of them probably don't want to have that many kids going around screwing up their power structures and whatnot. So it's kind of the survival rate in that part of the multiverse, so to speak, is rather low. So you need to shape up as a kid, otherwise you would not survive long. So that's why I have it. The natural, they have a tendency of a lot of them can be made and born, but a lot of them don't exist long. So yeah.
Does IUs have children?
Well, I'm sure he has some sort of offspring.
That's not the question. Not a supposition. Is there any?
No, I don't think we know any in publications. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know of a single one in publication.
Exactly. I don't think so either. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't have them in your game.
Yeah. I don't have them in my game, and I have a reason for it, but I'm not going to tell you yet.
Okay. And we have one. We have one of Orcus. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yep, which is big, a big thread.
I thought Orcus couldn't make any living kids, so
I
to
didn't
speak.
say it wasn't another full demon, right?
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
not
Yep.
not a
There we
Camion,
go.
but
Yep.
a son.
Yep.
Uh,
You can have an old
June,
one.
I don't think there's a single even supposition anywhere in living.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would think that somewhere in Living Greyhawk, Casey would have come up with the idea. I mean, because sorry,
Oh yeah,
Casey's not here to
he's the
defend himself.
master of these kind
I
of cool
mean,
things. But yeah, but Samwise, Gerust is the exception in a lot of sense. He has lots of kids. He loves making kids.
yeah, true. And Groom, he is one of Gratz's kids,
Yep.
along with Drelsna and Silkanth, both
Yep.
of them.
Oh yeah.
So
and Gerust is one of these that had kids with lots of things, lots of different creatures. So there's a lot of Gerust offspring. So yeah.
So Mike,
Yes.
give us a fiend or a story or a demon devil situation that you really like in Greyhawk.
So
Or even
I'm
just a
still,
monster.
yeah, yeah. So I was following the chat here.
I know there's a lot going. The chat's going by too fast tonight. Thank you for keeping that going there, Chris.
Will says Graz is the daddy of Ayu's sister. Yeah.
It's daddy of Ayus, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Both Ayus and
Drelsna.
Uh-huh.
So Ayus has this huge family tree that goes way back. It doesn't go forward because I don't think Ayus is really into starting a family right now, but his family, we all know who Grazit is, and then like he's got Grazit's got a family that's quite extensive that I wouldn't be able to name a whole lot, but then like his mom is Pale Knight.
Yeah,
that is an Oberith, one of the oldest of demons.
Yep.
She's the mother of demons, I think is her nickname, as a matter of fact. So yeah, you got this weird family tree in Greyhawk, all kind of revolving around one character.
And you have like a question came up from Rex on which areas are more worshiping the demons and devils, and I think Horn Society definitely, but I don't think Scarlet Brotherhood is much. And the Great Kingdom, some spots, right? But most
it's interesting. Great Kingdom seems to have been taken over by the Asmodeus side of things. The Naelexes were devil sold their soul to Asmodeus, and he seems to have taken over in Hextor and that whole side. So the Great Kingdom was kind of sold out to that side. But then we have the Death Knights and stuff. Then we have demon injection into the fight. So I see it as Greyhawk is this kind of, there is this kind of, the blood war infects the whole setting, so to speak, meaning there are different powers. They try to cajole and recruit different parts of the Flannies to fight for them and to get resources, because you need a lot of souls and stuff in order to and worshippers and stuff in order to be powerful, at least in my campaign. So that's why you have these recruitments, and some of these ties go back to old, but it's interesting to see that some of it is hinted at in the descriptions, and a lot of it is just double speak. You don't know, like Horn Society, sometimes they're referred to as devil worshippers, and sometimes they're referred to in other terms. So I think it's ambiguous on purpose. You as a DM, you should kind of go with it the way you like it, so to speak. I think that was the idea of in the original books, or maybe they intended to clarify it later. I'm not sure.
So there are not that many devilish references in a lot of the publications. It's mostly called demons. But I remembered one that's got a devil reference to it. Does anyone early on? Does anyone know?
Even the Undying, but
No,
that's
but
later.
like first edition. There's
Oh,
an adventure
now you're
module.
talking. Yeah, now you're talking.
There's an adventure
old.
module well, I'll give you a hint. It came out for the 25th anniversary.
Is it not the Return to White Plume Mountain or the Return to Keep of the
It's an
Borderlands?
old friend of ours, Len Kafka.
Okay.
The Deep Dwarven Delve.
Never seen that mod.
Yeah. So if you go to the end of the Deep Dwarven Delve,
L3.
yeah,
Okay.
remember they completely rewrote this, and Len went crazy.
Yeah. But they have Asmodee. They have a city of or town of devil worshippers on Lindor Isles.
They do.
Asmodeon hang on a second
They
here.
do.
I need to. Yeah.
But the very end of this is supposed to be here. It's the Temple of Balzabul. So
Asmodorgon.
Yeah. Balzabul himself is supposed to appear in this adventure, but they kind of rewrote it out so that it was only a lemur that came through, and he was infuriated by this. But he tells the story on an old it was either Legends of the Lord or Gavin. He tells the story. But so was there anything written as far as stats or anything? Albino Demon Vuron from the Gord books. That's a good question there, Chris. So just note, this is Leonard doing some devilish work here in this. So remembering the great works, and thank you very much for that hype train of the legendary Leonard Lakofka. Much more demonic Greyhawk references than devilish Greyhawk references. In fact, Cambions and Alu demons are half demon, and I don't know of any half devilish creatures. Do you? It's all demon.
No, there don't seem to be that many half devils.
No,
A question, where you get a lot of grass lore from here. There's a whole. There are pages up, several pages of grass lore in this one. Yeah, there's a Dragon magazine. There's a long article on grass too.
There's not. All right, so this is not a reposing for it too. The Book of Vile Darkness.
There's I think there are some thralls and stuff in Vile Darkness as well.
Right.
Vile Darkness is more mechanical. Is more mechanics and less lore. Yeah. Okay. These are more lore and less mechanics. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. That's why I like these better than. But Book of Vile Darkness is cool, but it takes the mechanics into the extreme, and you might love it or you might not like it, so to speak. So yeah.
I don't know what a half devil would be, or called something else. I don't know. It would be tiefling, probably in permanent in modern terms. You know, that's just a generic, theoretically of any origin. Yeah, so that seems to be the discussion point there. One sec. As you all know, I'm not 100% here. Needed that. So, what's up, Les? It's always been fun to put all sorts of demons and devils and demodons and everything else you can in your game. So much so, when I was younger, very early, and we're talking like 1980, because everyone had Monster Manual and everyone had deities and demigods. We had a major brawl and encounter and with Dispater. I didn't want to go full Lord, so I went one step down on those. But then I got away from that after the Dispater trials and tribulations. You run tieflings as descendant from demons and Cambions as descendant from. Hey man, whatever floats your boat there. Haven't kept good footnotes, but a lot of stuff was on a net. Greyhawk wikis, so stuff's everywhere on this. I think this is a topic that a lot of people did not want to approach. You know, they wanted to stay away from this. So, Alan brings up that there's a whole bunch of homebrewed fiends everywhere, and also how to rank them. You know, there is a hierarchy which is
in the
neat.
Devils.
Yeah, and the Devils is true.
And
I mean, I
then you
guess
have
there's
the
a pecking order for demons, but not the
yeah.
same. Not the same.
And then you have the big question, or how do you integrate them with the gods? That's the other thing. Meaning, is Geras, who rules several planes of layers of the abyss, is he deity powerful or not, so to speak? And that's these, meaning how do they function in the multiverse hierarchy, so to speak? That's
Well, that's a good question. Let's say
yeah.
Gratz has what, 3 layers? 2 or 3
I think
layers?
yes, at least several
How
layers.
many outer planes does Palor rule?
Yeah,
No
meaning
idea.
we don't know.
You know,
That's a good
or
question.
Yeah,
any
and
of those
Good point.
guys.
yeah,
That's a great
it's a
point.
question that D&D always seem to
Yeah.
have dodged,
Just
so
a
to
question
speak.
of real estate. The demon lords and the devils are
Yeah.
definitely more powerful.
Yeah,
Or
I have
equal.
them as they are deities. In my campaign, they are different. I have 10 levels of deitydom, from just being immortal to and quasi and hero deities and stuff, all the way up to the most supreme beings. And then
Right, Blue.
the Asmodeus and Gerast and Orcus and the others, they are fairly high on that
Yes.
scale, just like Pelor and others are also high up on that list, but they're definitely in the deity range, so to speak. But that's up to, in the books you don't get, because the older edition, the first edition and stuff, were big on first they didn't mention deities much, and they got big on deities, and the demons were kind of relegated to the sidelines. And then then later on in second edition and third edition, the demons and the fiends of various kind got a revival, and the deities were kind of put on the sidelines a little bit, but no one really took them and made them work together in that sense, so to speak. That never really happened, and I'm sad in that sense that someone should have sorted that out, so to speak. Meaning Loth or we know Ius is a demigod. Okay, how powerful is he compared to the big demon lords and Asmodeus and stuff like that? If you run the hells, does that qualify you to be a deity or a super deity?
I think personally it's better than it's a jumbled mess.
It is good that it's a jumbled mess, but in your campaign, if you want to, you can sort it out, so to speak, or you can skip it and just let it be a mystery.
Yeah, because it states that like Orcus and Asmodeus are on the level of lesser gods. They're not greater. That's kind of where it's placed in those publications. But that doesn't, I don't like gods tussling with each other at all. I don't see my game as that. Now, if you know about Temple of Elemental Evil, there's a lot of going ons in there with, that's the adventure that I can think of where you're coming across demons and you're coming across gods just hanging out right in there. So Viron, we'll get to Viron, BB.
Yes,
one
my
of Anna's
favorite.
favorites.
Yes, my
We'll
favorite fiend of all the fiends. Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one here. So, but through Temple of Elemental Evil, you have. Let me bring that up. First off, spoiler alert, everyone. You do get to banish Zugtmoy from the prime material for 100 years. Here's the original Zugtmoy, not the 5th edition. I'm so hot Zugtmoy. So this is what Roblar's banging. Okay, just put that in perspective. All right.
But in the Gord books, I used were hot. They had I used it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that going on and we get to know I use private life in the Gord books, so to speak, and it's kind of it's entertaining. That's it's interesting from a Greyhawk perspective. It might not be high literature, but from a Greyhawk perspective, it's interesting.
CW show.
Yeah.
No, Grape, that's Zugtamoy, that picture.
Yeah, but then later on, I think that was in late 3rd edition, early 4th edition era when Zugtmoy was revived as a really cool demon, so to speak, that looks awesome. That was, I think, a Spanish artist that made the sculpts of Zugtmoy that looked fabulous. That looked awesome.
I like this picture of Ius here too.
Yes, I do
really
too.
Like this one too.
Yeah.
So in this adventure, you have, and also if you count the Loth aspect of it, even though it probably shouldn't have been, but they didn't change it. You have Loth, Zugtamoy, St. Cuthbert, and Ius, and St. Cuthbert and Ius actually parlay at the end if you get that far. So it's kind of a neat thing. But this is it as far as the demons, and you got a demon and a god, right, coming together. So that's and St. Cuthbert's brought from real literature too, which is kind of strange. But there are also
He's
demons.
human in the video game.
What's that?
BB says she is human in form in the video game.
It's very possible.
Well, most gods can take whatever form they want, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, Sam, they just smashed it all together, right? It's just a mess. So, yep. Okay. So that's Temple, and that is that's where you get some early interactions with some um, really cool deities. And demons and devils, all demons. I'm sorry, wandering about. So that's where you get it. Well, there are no avatars back then. The avatar concept is later.
Yep.
There's no avatars at all.
I love the avatar concept because that makes gods powerful in a way that I think they should be powerful, so to speak. I mean, they should be not, and the same goes with demon lords. And if you want to fight Gerast or Ayus or Orcus or someone, it's not like a monster that you go in and slay. They are on a different scale, and I like the avatar concept is it's an early form of how I think deities and really powerful beings should be run in D&D. You should run them not as regular monsters. They are phenomena more than a single beast.
I always thought that was because no one knew how to play back in the original days, in the late 70s, early
Yeah.
80s. And everyone's, hey, let's get the most powerful thing in the
We
book.
invented the game back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just kill. So they're like, well, if you're going to kill these over and over, here's an avatar instead.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to permanently destroy all the demons and devils and gods in your.
But the interesting thing is that the stories are full of these cool mechanics.
Yeah.
They are full of possessions, controlling. They are full of avatars, projections, and stuff like that. They're in the stories, but they're not in the rules. And that was I think one of the biggest problems with first edition, with the old D&D and first edition especially, was that they had so many cool things in the stories that was supposed to be part of the game, but they was not codified in rules anywhere. So that meant that the DM could just do things, and the players, it was like there was no it was save or suck maybe, or it was ad hoc for different adventures and stuff. I like the fact that in third edition and later editions, they started making rules for this stuff, so to speak. And that's why I love the Vile Darkness and a bunch of other stuff. There are rules for cool things like possessions and how do these things actually work on a mechanics level, so to speak. And that's why I love to take, I think it's a need to take deities, really powerful beings, meaning how do they interact? How do you run them and use them in a game? And yeah, they're starting to be. But that's why I think the old school mechanics, they want to do a lot of stuff and they do it, but it's outside of the rules,
right,
to a large extent.
Yeah. Okay, so I know I know there's a lot of Gore book questions out there. Let's do one round of one round of a lesser, least, or demon or devil that you like to you think's cool, like to use. We'll all go through 3 of our favorites. So, Mike, what's one of your favorite demons or devils? It could be like a type 5.
Oh, lesser demons?
Yeah, any of them. Any of them.
I think I have got the most mileage over the years out of Rock.
Type 1s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocks are cool. Rocks seem to be the one that is like, why does it look like a vulture? Right?
Yeah.
So, it's cool though, and it gets a lot of. Here you go. So here's your type 1 rock. There you go. Let me get over and put this over here. Yep. Type 1 rock. Yep. These seem to be the ones that show up most in dungeon magazine adventures. If you ever go through your dungeons, there's always the rocks being summoned for some purpose all the time, because I think it's a good balance to put up against an entry level party. It seems to be one of the. It's not like going against a mains or a dretch or anything like that. At least it's got a little kick to it. Yeah, Taker, I like that too. I like the Marlis too myself, but they're not my favorite. But I like them, so that's a good one.
They're nasty when there's, I don't know how many appear in the one either, but in later editions, you get a group of rock together and it's really trouble. They fly around you.
Right. And I don't think the ever mysterious Tim is on, but I have to note something that he abuses the heck out of. So I'm going to give you 4 Tim heads for this. So, are we lagging? I don't think so, Lando.
I hope not.
No. Um, this gate ability that they have, all demons have and all devils have, like, he'll just keep on gate every round, gate, and it's like, it's annoying. It's annoying. I mean, I would always say it should be a once per day a thing, so.
But that is something that I dealt with in my campaign. It is different, meaning fiends and things from other planes, so to speak, especially the outer planes. They can come in 2 ways. They can either be gated, meaning they're projected in. That would be like you going there through the astral plane with a cord and you project yourself, or they can actually be in they can actually physically go to the prime material plane. You can gate them in, and then they walk through the gate, and they are physically on the prime material plane. But if they're gated in and walk in, then you can't banish them. But the ones that are just summoned in order to help, they are banishable. So if you have a powerful spell like a banish, you can just instantly just call them, boom, they're gone, so to speak. So that means that they can come in quickly, but you can deal with them a lot easier. There is magic, you can deal with them. A demon or fiend of some sort that have walked through a gate or physically come in, you can't banish them because they are there just like you are, so to speak. So you can't use magic to unsummon them or make them go away. You have to literally kill them. And that is something. So that makes that thing that they can simply summon lots of creatures. If you have a powerful cleric or someone who can banish things, then you can get rid of them much easier, so to speak.
Good one, Mike. Yeah. All right, Anna, give me a demon,
devil. Well, I need to sing a little bit of praise for dretches. They are a good little demon because they are low CR. So they are useful.
They're devils, aren't they?
The dretches are. Hang on a second here. Now I need to go.
Demons. Dretches are devils.
Oh, so yeah. So yeah. So, but I like they.
No, they're not. They are too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking lemurs. Hold on.
Lemurs. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the dretches, I have them as small demons, but
you're right.
Yeah,
oh my
and
God,
they're kind of cool because they have the stench and stuff like that. So they have some neat little tricks, so to speak, and they kind of they can nauseate you, so to speak. So you lose actions in that sense. So they're a great little addition, and you can also use lots of them to fill out the ranks between more powerful ones. That because they suck up damage and they suck up actions, which is more important. They take actions to deal with, so to speak. So but one of my favorite is the imp or the quasit and the imps. Imps and quasits are fun little ones that you can annoy the hell out of a party. Yeah, exactly. They are awesome. So you can have fun with them, so to speak. You can make them make them with a bit of a character, so to speak, and they are smart compared to a lot of others. So yeah.
I'm gonna go off the beaten path here. I think this one is a demon, but or does it come from a demonic plane? I could be wrong, but
And the Quasids and the Imps are basically the same type of creature. It's just they come from opposite ends of the fiendish planes, so to speak, of the lower planes. One is more of the devilish type, and the other one is the demonic
BB,
variant.
homunculuses are not, they're created from alchemy, right? They're not
Yeah,
demons.
exactly. Yeah, they're some sort of created creature. Yeah.
All right. So they were all, so the Bodak is technically not
Oh,
a
it's a
demon.
nasty.
The Bodak's technically not a demon, but it's a human who was
It,
changed to a monster after venturing somewhere upon abyssal plains where mortals not meant to be.
it's a type of fiend
Yeah, it's definitely a
in my
fiend.
take. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I love the
Bodak's,
term fiend that covers all of the stuff that
yeah.
comes from these planes, and then you can have
Pretty broad.
lots of subgroups. I have a lot of
Hey,
undergroups under
Curtis.
them. Fiends cover everything from down there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love these. Their gaze is death,
Mm-hmm.
like a catapleibus, which I killed someone last Thursday with. So and yeah, they're struck by magical weapons. You know, they just where is the Bodak? Is it D? Is it G2?
That I have no
There's
idea.
a Bodak that's
I
that
haven't
has a whole
codified it
collection of
yet.
frozen bodies, isn't it?
Hmm.
Maybe that, or maybe that's Shokanth I'm thinking of. Where
I
the
know
Bodak's
there's
collecting all the bodies.
Bodaks in Mark Castle.
Oh yeah,
I
Shokanth.
believe
Okay,
so.
Sam, that's what I thought. There are a whole bunch of frozen bodies in G2, right? But there's no Bodak there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You can tell I'm not 100% tonight. So Bodaks I love, and then let's go back to the first monster manual and
So have you created any demon types or devils or any?
a little
Yeah.
bit. There's a great demon in Expeditions of Ruins at Greyhawk that I love that I had never seen before till then. So also the two I love are fives and sixes, the Mariliths and the Balrogs, even though they don't call them Balrogs, right? But
Baylors. Yeah.
they're too weak. This is way too weak for a Balrog.
You just need to go to later edition. They're not weak
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
Third edition, they're not
I
weak
just souped
anymore.
them
So
up.
you just yeah,
The
you just
Marilith's nasty. The Marilith's
yeah.
so nasty with all the
Take a
attacks.
Baylor from third edition or Pathfinder 1 or later on, and they're not weak.
Yeah.
But you need to give them a bit more punch, so to speak. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And the Sonics, I ignore the Sonics because it just goes too much. But I love the immolation and all. But they really need to be pumped up a bit.
They're stereotypical demon or devil, so to speak. It's they're fantastic.
Yeah,
I
one
love them.
Eloth
Pit
had
Fiends
66 points.
and Baylors are my and are my among my favorites when it comes to the really powerful ones.
Oh, Pit
Yeah.
Fiends too, right?
Oh yeah. I have them as basically similar creatures that just on the opposite side politically down there. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Your Pit Fiends.
Yep.
Pit Fiends are, according to the original Monster Manual, way nastier than Balrogs. But
Yeah, but I just no. Baylors are nasty too. I think. Hang on a second. The Baylors I have are CR. Hang on a second. One is the regular BR or Baylor is that was the Lord one. Hang on a second. The regular one is challenged 19, and the Lord powerful ones are 24. So they're really up there.
Curtis, we may be going to Dark Druids because a lot of those daemons are utilized by Rob Kuntz and Dark Druids.
Mm-hmm.
Just changes the name slightly. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, they can't use it Baylor because Balrog is going to be trouble, just like Tree Ent.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely, definitely.
but I like Baylors as much as Balrogs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean it's just a name, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll call it.
You
not
can
Pit
give them
Fiend
cool. You
personally.
can give them cool individual names rather than because it's not the dime of the dozen.
Yeah.
So they should have individual names, and you should tweak their stats on an individual level. One should not be. They're like characters in that sense. They should have different specialities and know different things and
So
so
you
on.
guys are going to make me go fishing here now. I know.
Uh-huh.
You're going to make me fish. Okay. Expeditions of Ruins of Greyhawk. in Expeditions, you have the great staircase goes down and down and down. I'm never going to find this. This thing is so huge. I'm never going to find what I'm looking for here. So, but there are these things called, I think they're called arrow demons. Is that correct, third edition people?
Arrow demons? I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I can say I've never tried to create a type of demon. There's always, or whatever. There's been plenty to work with.
Yeah,
I just
I've
typed in
created
And
for my
Demon and look what it did.
yeah
It just highlighted everything.
uh,
Oh my
for my
God.
Shieldlands campaign, I created a couple, and one of them is the
couple.
mycelia demon. It's one of Zuchtmoy's fungus demons, so it's mycelia
Okay.
demon. Yeah, it's
Oh, Vane.
it comes in different sizes, and the minor one is a challenge rating 9, so it's a
I'm probably never going to find it in
nasty
here.
when they spread spores and they have mycelia through the
It's here.
ground and stuff, so they can be nasty, and the really powerful ones can be very nasty. So they're kind of
Cataboling Demon from the good book. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in here is there's multiple arrow demons guarding the great staircase, because the Iusian army that Anna can't stand that came all the way under the near Deve is coming up there.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and,
that's one of these kind of sad things. A teleport would be much better than to dig a whole a 500-mile long tunnel. That seems to be overkill,
right,
so to
but
speak, under the lake of unknown depths. Meaning, come on, that's just creative
you can yell at Eric
gridlock
Mona.
a bit. Yeah, you can just gated them in, or they could have walked there or flown or whatever. So
I'm
to
never
speak.
going to find it in here, but just note the arrow demons are really nasty.
Yeah,
Guy,
arrow
Page
page
demons.
143.
143.
All right. Yay. Thank you,
Okay.
Sam.
Yep.
And this was like the first. I was like, cool, a new demon. Secondly,
Arrows.
here we go. Thank you. There we go. Arrow demons. There it is. Arrow demons. Hit points 135, and they just are crazy with their bow. They're a bow specialist. They have all these special shot. An arrow demon can wield 2 bows at once in unison. So I think there were 4 of them guarding the tunnel opening.
Yeah.
Is that what this is here? Is this yeah, the Underdark? There it is. Underdark staircase. This is where, and there was also she's a cleric. This was a nasty encounter, if I recall. Really, really nasty. And just it was the first time I'd ever seen them, because you remember we didn't play third edition. We were playing 1E2E, and we're running this. I'm like, oh my god, these things are unbelievable. Plus they can dimension door all over the place. It was really nasty. So I haven't used them again since then, but I will probably be in the future, just so you're aware. But they're really nasty. Yeah, it's a harsh encounter. Yeah, you're steamrolling stuff, and you get to this point, and it's like, because you have to collapse this passage to stop the army from coming. So, yep. So there you go. Just wanted to bring that up. That it was a demon I had never seen before show up, and great writing by Eric Mona and James Jacobs and Jason Bowman, and I was like, cool. I never, when I see something new that's cool and I can use it, I was like, wow. So that was, but have I ever made demons myself? Yes. You want to see a picture of one?
Yeah.
In fact, this is Bill and Master Crafter mostly. It's painted too. I'll bring up a picture. I have to go to the right subfolder. Dumbass. I'm talking to myself. Sorry about that. Move over here. All right, I got 2 pictures, front and back. So, Bill has created this for our Sus Forest Altamir, our Free City of Altamir / Aired campaign. And you all have probably seen this, been going on for a couple years. But they're always, and Amy even remembers this, 'cause she was there for an adventure. They just call it the Sun. It's got it's broke from its chains, and there you go.
Oh, that looks awesome.
So this
Yep.
is a Son of Orcus, and this is the thing that is turning all of the indigenous people and humans and elves and stuff into those beastmen that are running about.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome.
So this is there's a whole cult of this. So no, this is a Reaper mini. Reaper. Yep. Yeah, Amy, you found the statue of him. Absolutely. So this is demon based on your ex-wife. That is hysterical. Like father, like son. So and here's rear facing of he's got a snake tail and everything. So that's a you'll see that in a more about the sun in the Free City of Altamira box set. There you go. Because there's a whole cult of worship.
Yep.
So, but that's one we've created. Also, I'd say the Beastmen are fiends too, because they are demonically created. They're the goat men running around.
Yeah.
They're magic resistant and stuff. Ed always goes, "Damn, they got magic resistance." He always gets pissed because I put Anna, you, and Ed, and all the 2-drink minimum against the Beastmen a couple times.
Yep.
So. Yeah, when that party got stuck behind the wall of force. Yes, you wall of force Stella's character, her ranger inside with Deathmaster. If I recall, it was Deathmaster. Inside the wall of force. That was awesome. Yes. See? Good memories. So that's one we've created. Yeah. It was fun. That kind of stuff. Because she was invisible. So you didn't see her. So, Mike, you ever created any minor or major?
No, not minor, definitely. Like I said, I always felt there was enough minor demons to play with in D&D, and then like in later editions, third edition, whatnot, arrow demons. I would have been annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I don't need more demons. I may have created some major demons though, named demons, and stuff. Nothing's popping in my head, unfortunately.
So
I needed a Sukmoy temple in my Shieldlands campaign, so I created the mycelia demon. That's my illustration
cool.
of it, and then
look at that.
Yeah, and then I dusted off one that I found that is third edition, I think. The Ruka Rassel. I'm not sure where the heck I found it. Maybe it's a Pathfinder, but it's the Ruka Rassel. I think it's somewhere in Dragon magazine somewhere, and that was the one that is a kind of a plant fungi kind of type thing, and so I used them to get it. So I got two really powerful demons, and this one comes in different sizes, from small ones up to big ones, so to speak. So from challenge rating 5-6 for the small ones up to over 20 for the biggest. Yeah.
So I have another one. But I need to bring up your map, Anna. Give me 1 second. I'll just tell you why.
Yep.
So for Greyhawk, now this is my campaign-based Greyhawk. But give me 1 second.
While you're doing that, I can say that there will be a new demon type that I will, a kind of demonic, a fiendish creature that will be one of the main villains in the adventure I will run at the Virtual Greyhawk Con. That will be a special fiendish villain. That will be one of the main opponents in that scenario.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to create demon level crap, there's a great adventure that is not even well, it is D&D. It's ancient. It's a top 30 adventure of all time. It's voted in that Dungeon Magazine article by Janelle Jackways. Anyone know what I'm saying?
It's the
Dark Tower.
Dark Tower. Yeah.
So in Dark Tower, you get to create Sons of Set.
Oh.
And they are disgusting, right? So this is a great adventure module if you really want to create some really cool Sons of Set roaming about, because there's wandering monster encounters with them all the time, or some of no, Return of Mental Evil doesn't exist, Jeff. Sorry. Dark Tower is awesome. I mean, it's one of my favorites of all time. It's long. And if you want to know where you can place it in Greyhawk,
where is that?
There it is. This river needed a friend, so it's up here, North Duchy Ulick, Grand March border area. I guess that's Grand March, isn't it? right? Well, I don't know. Or
And that's your map
yeah, this is my map,
so
but just show
yeah.
you where it places it. I don't place it on my map.
Yep.
So there
Yep.
it is. So it exists on my map. So if you want to know closer and you don't have it, there, Dark Tower's placed. But
Well,
that's a great place for
we
some
can place a
demons.
dark tower on the official version of the map too, because then you, if you want to run it as, there could be a dark tower of many kinds up there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, absolutely. But just note that
I,
that's
I I put it on I put it next to Haradra, but I might need to fix that. So yeah,
yeah. I
we'll
liked
see.
it in
Yeah,
a place that would have humans out of the
yeah.
way, could have a
Now I
village
need
that
to.
could have a village there for hundreds of years no one would know about or care
Yeah,
about, and the cultists take it
I
over.
need to
Which
see
yeah,
where it's put
okay.
on the.
So just note that's a cool one for
It in on the official map. It's next to Haradra in the center of the Lord Mills. You put
okay.
it down a bit on your map,
Right,
yeah.
because it's human based, not dwarven based. So I think
Gotcha.
humans should have it's a human community when the adventure starts. Not
Yeah,
yeah.
and I moved the city of Haradra because it's up in the high peaks, which I think is cities usually up in the peaks
It's
of the
not in
mountains.
Keeland, so it's
So yeah, so it's so I put it in the valley that is kind of a hidden valley in
okay.
there. So that I put the ruins of Haradra up there, and then I
Nice.
put the dark tower a bit above it, so to speak. That's put it on the official maps, but I need to adjust it a few miles.
Yeah, just so there can be a normal
Yeah.
human community, because in the mountains it would
Yeah.
probably be more dwarvish. All right, so where demon wise, we all know about Eyes the Evil, right? It's the top one to go to in this case, and they're everywhere. Or if I guess even the Undying too, isn't there a lot of
There's more devils.
more well, that's still good, right? It's
It's
still,
Fiends. Yeah.
it's Fiends. So
Meaning the Nail-X is sold out their future lines in, what was it, 333 or 666 generations to come, or something, or 66 generations or something. It was like he sold out the souls of future generations for X amount of generations going forward. So yeah.
All right. So
Evid. Yeah.
Is Vuron in this one, or where's Vuron in, or is he in the Gore novels? Who am I thinking of that's in this one? That's a Cambion, isn't it? The one that's General Sindel I'm thinking of, right?
Oh yeah, Sindel is in there.
Yeah.
He's a Cambion too.
Yeah.
We don't know the family relations of Sindel, but he's a cool SOB that is in here. But we don't know much more than he's IU's top general, so to speak. That's basically all we know.
Completely emotionless too. Right? I mean, he's got like
Yeah, we don't know much about him more than he is IU's top commander kind of thing.
General Sindel, commander of the Legion of Black Death.
Yeah.
And he's a Cambion, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He could very well be a child of Ea's, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
He could be it says here, Sindel's parentage is wholly unknown to IU's.
Yeah.
Guess not. But the unfailing service of the Cambion has led IU's to trust Sindel as much as does anyone. Named Varen. Okay. So Vuron's... I always get Sindel and Vuron mixed up because Anna likes them both so much. Yeah.
Well, Sindel is my characters haven't met him yet, but he's in my campaign, and I've studied him out and given him a shield and like a symbol and all that. So yeah,
definitely a super nasty.
Oh yeah, he is nasty. Yep. If you think the Death Knights are nasty, he is up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but Vuron is it's my favorite. Yeah.
So we'll go one, Mike. Any in this Eyes the Evil that you like or want to discuss? I mean, there's a lot of really cool. I think there's two other Cambions mentioned in here, if I recall.
Yeah, as much as we go over Eyes the Evil, you'd think I'd have a better grasp on the demons in it.
Here's another one: Marion and Major Cambion. So he appears as a 6-foot human fighter most of the time. So, yeah, technically in the service of Pasriel.
Yeah, Pazuzu and Pasriel and yeah, that aerial demon that I don't think fits thematically at all. So to me, it's kind of weird.
I doubt if he's a child of Ayuz, if Ayuz doesn't know whose parentage is. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know if that the way it works
But
for.
we have to realize Ayus is not that old. Ayus
Right, even though he's called the
is
old one.
fairly exactly. He calls himself the old one, but that's more like propaganda. You need to
Yes.
build a brand, so to speak. So because by these terms, he's a youngster compared to the other ones. Meaning, come on, he hasn't been around more than a few hundred years. Let's see how old he is in.
You spit on the old one. So yeah, when I was doing the research for this, I didn't realize, dummy me, Pazuzu's a Mexican god, and there's idols of him everywhere. I didn't know that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, split.
Might be why they changed the name.
Meaning, I use in my campaign is 148. He's born in CY 457, so he's 142 years old, which is he's a youngster. He's an upstart.
But
Compared to
that's
an
also an
elf, he
old
is.
man.
Yeah. So and yeah. So it's not that he hasn't been around that long, so to speak. He's playing in an arena with things that have been around for thousands of years,
Yeah,
and he's
amen to that.
142 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Igwolf connection does not exist at all in Shokanth. The Grazix Igwolf connection is in Shokanth, but it doesn't specifically say in Shokanth that Eus is Igwolf's son, but Grazix is his father, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and
You know,
but that comes later.
that
Yeah,
comes later too. Okay, both of them.
and the
So
Gourd books they delve into lots of this
okay,
stuff and his family interactions and love scenes and all sorts of stuff
nice. That's all we
with
need.
Zuchtmoy and stuff. So yeah,
Uh,
so
it,
you get a bit like he wanted to write stories about what certain other characters that we've had talked about on this show before, so to speak. But so we get a sneak peeks into Ayu's family life, so to speak, in the Gourd books, which I think those scenes are interesting
okay.
and some of the best of the books. And the same thing when Girast has his court in, and he talks about those are the best things in the Gourd novels. When you get to the fiendish, the demonic court of Girast, I think it's fantastic.
So the shame is, once again, from Gygax's era to Sergeant era. You know what? I know why it's so freaking dark. Didn't have my light on here.
Yeah.
There's stuff. There's different. Just like there's different authors, so things get changed.
Yeah.
You know, and so Igolf gets tied much more into the stories beyond Shokanth, right?
Oh yeah, and we also Gary wrote them. He wrote the Gourd books. You get a parallel story.
Right.
So TSR developed Greyhawk in one direction sporadically, and then Gary published the Gourd books that took things in a different direction, and TSR didn't publish much at all, and then they got back into it with Roger E. Moore and so on and so forth. So you have parallel tracks that don't match each other at all. You have Gygax in the Gourd books. In the later books, he talk about Infestix, for instance. Is that Nerul or not? And that plays a significant role in the Gourd books, which is kind of cool. You can put Infestix in a little bit where you want to, so to speak, and so there's a lot of this is and to some degree, I like that it's ambiguous and stuff, because then you can build whatever version you want. You can, the Horn Society, perfect example. Are they devil worshippers? Are they old Flan survivors from the Ur-Flan era, or are they just assholes that worships devils in general, or whatever? Meaning, are they just your run-of-the-mill warlords that have some nasty evil magic, or are they way more sinister, or one way or the other? Meaning that's it's not spelled out, so you can kind of you can weave them in. The dark druids,
Yeah.
meaning that then I take the Rob Kuntz had one version of them, but that inspired me to make another version of them and tie them into the Horn Society and stuff. And there's a dark side to the old faith, meaning I took the Urflan myths and stuff of these cults and stuff and ran with those ideas and tied it in. So there we have Zuktmoy and Grast and Orcus and a whole bunch of the other ones are old cults of old Flan cults, so to speak, that are back in history. And they have a tendency of linger and come back in different shapes throughout history. We have the abyssal maw that tried to strike at the Great Kingdom heart. I have that as part of the dark culture. That was a huge fiend and stuff that was killed by the Knight Protectors and stuff. And so there are glimpses into interesting things in the Greyhawk histories and stuff, but they are written by different authors over 40 years. So that's why they don't follow it. No one took the lore and ran with it and for it to make sense. So they're different authors that run the things in different directions. So there's a lot of inconsistencies.
It's all over the place, and that actually I think protects the lore a bit. If that sounds crazy, from WotC just saying, "Well, we're going to redo all this," and it's so disjointed they don't even know where to begin, which I think is good. I thought Infestix was incabulous. Old Gourd webpage suggested Greyhawk, maybe.
Exactly. That might very well be. So
or it could be Anthraxis, all those.
I like the name in Infestix more than Anthraxis, for instance.
Cool name. Yeah. I think that the root, the IN thing is not a coincidence, though.
Oh, okay.
That they're both disease gods.
Right.
The name starts with IN.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like inject or Yeah.
So, all right. One last one before then we'll go over to some a lot of Gord stuff with Anna. All right, so Tourney the Merciless. Somehow, Tourney, this is Roger Moore's creation in Return of the Eight, right? Picture of Tourney right on the cover. Right on the stinking cover, along with a Dretch, which is not really a Dretch, but you get the idea. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I've done it before. And there's, the polymorph Jalarzi into a male, stop, Jerry, stop, slapping a Dretch. Yes, slapping around the Dretch there. But we have Tourney, who's really nasty, and I don't know if I ever I think I asked him once why I think he had a Tourney, achieved, it was so vile they achieved demonhood. You hated Return of the Eight? Okay. That's okay, Amy. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was.
I don't remember the story behind Tourney being a demon. I do think it's interesting that, someone, maybe died and went to hell and came back. He went through the ranks like Tourney. Or maybe it has just something to do with his flask. Maybe it's some kind of comeuppance that he is a demon.
It said his background's here. It says, once was a human wizard, one of the greatest in all history and feared personage in the ancient kingdom of Arity. He was born over 900 years ago in a region called Alyssa, an archmage, fiend, summoner, and conqueror. He slew his own king and founded a militant expansionist tyranny. So he captured Grazix in the Iron Flask. But then Grazix recaptured him and put him back in. And then he became a Dretch, and then he was a Dretch for a long time before he
worked his way
up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it was some payback.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. The source here, sources D&D original set Supplement 3 Eldritch Wizardry. So Robert Jordan Moore does reference some places for this, but that's just another major demon, and you can see it's obviously a Type 4. What's that? A Nalfishni or whatever?
Nalfishni, yeah.
Yeah, Type 4, but he's a very, very powerful Type 4, which is cool. So I just wanted to bring that one up as well as some of the ones we've seen that are in published source. So, all right, Anna, tell us about Vuron and a lot of the other...
Oh, yeah, Vuron and Grast are kind of interesting. They are one of these kind of pairs of comrade in arms or whatever you say. They seem to be almost inseparable in some of the, especially in the Gord books. That's why that's one of. It's interesting. Gygax had a difficulty, Gary, in fleshing out a lot of characters like Evely and especially some female. They're kind of flat. But when it comes to the demonic politics of Grast court and stuff, that is dynamite. I think it's really really cool, and I really it was very interesting. That was and it's and Vuron is Grast's right hand man, so to speak, the brains behind the throne, and the intelligence chief,
The voice of Crescent.
In some probably the brains behind the throne in a lot of sense, the one that do the skullduggery, the secret missions, the stuff that should not be seen as being he's the one that he's the one that runs things, so to speak, the day-to-day operations. And Gerast, he's the one going around promoting and killing and screwing around and
he would have
doing
had to been running things when Gratz was imprisoned.
Exactly. That's the thing. I have a twist to that story. He wasn't imprisoned.
Cool.
He did other things, so to speak. It's the other way around. But on the other hand, but the I think what's cool with them is that Vuron is a demon that is more like a devil. And there have been hints in various places that both Grast and Vuron are demons originally, that moved to the abyss and set up shop there instead. And if that's true or not, that's up to you in your game if you want to run with it, so to speak, and or not. But it's interesting, and Vuron is also the pale or the albino demon. Sometimes he'd been described as a white person, just like Grast is a black. He's the opposite. He's the white or the pale or albino version of Grast. That's one description of him. Other ones is that he is a pale skeletal thing, so to speak. They're like a white skeletal fixture. Maybe he has different ones, so to speak. But and in the Gord books, it's interesting. He also seems to flirt with. Also, he doesn't seem to be as evil, more like he's more inquisitive and rather than evil and ruthless. He is ruthless when needs to be, but he seems to be one that enjoys knowing things more than just going around spreading evil for evil's sake, so to speak. He's not a disruptor. He's one that wants things done, not just tear things down. He's the opposite of crazy evil, so to speak. Vuron seems to be the balanced, the coherent, the smart, the brains, and but he wants things done, and he's the one that makes sure that Grast is in power, so to speak. And I like the interesting. He's an enigmatic fiend, so to speak, one that is different, and you can do interesting things. And in the Gord books, you have Leda, that is a clone of El Clavdra, that gone haywire and turned out to not be evil, and there is a lot of stuff involved. So there's a lot of personal that might not play out well in a role-playing game campaign, but I think you should read the Gord books and you should cherry pick from that kind of fiendish politics, so to speak, and let it inspire your campaign, and then tweak it the way you like it, and then run with it.
Okay. What about so Sam says that there's a scene where the demons are just chain summoning more demons in, and is that a case? Okay.
Yeah, they have they Grast court when he rules, and you have Kostichi and several of the other demons who, and Kostichi is the guy with the giant maul and just want to kill things, and he's like the cookie monster. He's like one sentence or one action from going haywire, and the whole thing goes. and oh, I would love to see that in a movie. That would be awesome to have that in a TV series or a movie or something. That will be fantastic if that is well played out. I think it's super cool. That's how I envision that the demons, and that to me is the best thing that Gary wrote was that part. Those bits down there was that was really well done. A lot of the others fell flat and is not great literature, but that is cool from that's cool fantasy, in my opinion.
Like demon lore, I don't know why I've never been able to get through Gygax's novels. I've not
Yeah.
read these things.
You should read them because they are, the first book is like a road movie through Greyhawk for the
First book's
Flannies.
good. I
Yeah.
read the
Yeah, I've
first
read
two.
the 1st book.
Yeah, and the
and
second book
yeah.
gets a little bit off the rails because it's starting getting it. That's a bit like Lord of the Rings, saving the world from going under, and then you get
When's
the
the
other
demons
books.
start?
Yeah, and then the books afterwards go off the rails even more. But then if you want to have fiendish politics in your games, there's a lot of cool names and stuff to take from there, and you get some insight into IUs and stuff. But they are very distant from regular Greyhawk and the Flannies. There's not a road. It's more of a road movie through the multiverse,
Obni's in there
so
too,
to
it
speak.
says.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obni's everywhere. Well, that's
Yeah.
good.
But you get some glimpses of Greyhawk stuff that you can use from the books, and to me it's interesting because Gary wrote them, and it's part of it's part of the legacy of Greyhawk, even if they're not have Greyhawk logo on top of them. So I think we should use them I use them the way I use modules, as inspiration. I don't see them as gospel or canon or that way, but I see them as inspiration.
We have, and it's a shame. Alan had a whole bunch of things that I am not an expert on. I don't know if any of us on, but we'll have to have him back in the future to discuss the following: summoning circles, how they work;
Mm-hmm.
true
Yep.
names, how they work;
Yep.
devil's talismans and demonic soul objects or
Mm-hmm.
amulets;
Possessions. Yep.
and the Demonomicon of Igwolf,
Mm-hmm.
which he
Yep.
says he has stuff that really predates the Paizo Hawk series.
But yeah, the Demonicum, these are detailed here.
They're decaled in there. Oh, is it okay?
Oh yeah, yeah. These are supposed to be the Demonicum of Igwolf,
yeah.
so to speak. These books are
Okay.
they have all the secrets. So they were written as that, so to speak. So
I think
third
what
edition
Alan's
era.
talking about is he wrote some Canon Fire articles on that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
And so
predates
third edition have tons of stuff. When it comes to summoning circles, and that ties into the rules of summoning, calling, conjuration, and teleportation, and plane shifting. And that's where I think that the rules need some you need to clarify a bit, because now it's more like, as a DM or someone, they can just come and go as they please, and that's great in books or movies and stuff. But in game mechanics, especially when the characters are becoming powerful and they want to use the same tools and power and powers and effects and spells and stuff as the other one, that's when you need to start codifying this in mechanics. And so I try to do when it comes to gating, teleporting, and summoning circles and stuff, to put more rules into it. Meaning, what happens when you gate something, you summon something, how do you teleport, how do you get to places, and put some rules and stuff. So there's some natural limitations that both the characters and the villains have to adhere to these rules, because it will be kind of boring if the villain monsters could come and go as they please, but the characters can't. That to me is they should all follow the same rules, meaning physics applies to everybody, and the same should go with D&D physics.
Can either of you discuss this for me and what this is?
Yeah, the Isle of Lost
and
Souls.
The Causeway of Fiends.
Yeah, it's one of the. I think it's one of these things that I think it came from it's called Sargent era invention, I think, and it's one of these places. He just needed an evil, disgusting place that had history, and it's tied into to the Naelixes and stuff like that, and it's and it's interesting. I think it's kind of cool. You can. What I've done with it is that I tie it into earlier. It was used as a burial ground for or a penal colony or stuff. They took things that no one wanted. They realized that was a great way you can actually push things out there and bury it and forget it and stuff. So and that have a tendency of building bad things over time, so to speak. If there's enough bones and dead bodies or whatever, that attracts. It's useful resources for nefarious things in the world. and so you can kind of tie it in. So it's one of these
Damn it.
you should read and use as an inspiration. It's not being detailed; it's just mentioned here and there, if I remember correctly, from Ivid the Undying and related scripts products, so to speak. Yeah.
That's funny, Lord Taker.
But possession is also one of these things that it should be rules for, and I've dealt with possession as if a demon or something tried to possess a character. They both, that is fought out in the mental plane of the character. So I get the character and the monster needs to fight it out. But there are some special rules that are kind of interesting when you deal with it. So you can invent things. It's a will of the mind, so to speak. So it become you and the opponent are both kind of illusions, and you have to fight each other. So there's a lot of cool possibilities, and wisdom is and will is a big factor in possession. So you can do interesting stuff with this. And I think if you want to run these things in your campaign, you need to start thinking, how do possession work? Is it just save or suck? That's boring, and you should make it more detailed. How do you conjure these things? How do you gate them in? How do you control them? Can you have them serve you, and so on and so forth? So you need to have figured out. And Book of Vile Darkness has some third edition ideas of this. Pathfinder have some more third edition, fourth edition, fifth edition has it as well, have rules for it. So there are many different ideas around it. So there are things, meaning corruption, just being near demons, is that dangerous in itself? Do they soil the land they've been walking on, so to speak? If a demon would live in your basement, would you go sick from it? And stuff like that, meaning that there are really cool possibilities you can do, afflictions and various things that you can. There's a bunch of stuff you can play with if you want to.
Yeah, this is a really nasty book.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Vile, that one is mechanically super nasty, and it's also mechanically complicated because it puts a worse layer on top of the regular stuff. So that is like, instead of normal damage, it's vile damage that is harder to heal, and so on and so forth. So I've done a mild version of that in my campaign. There's a little bit of it. So there are, meaning some monsters are nastier than others. But it's not as bad as the Book of Vile Darkness. That was over complicating it on a mechanic level, in my opinion. But it depends. If you want to run a really gritty, dark, super gritty, dark campaign, the Book of Vile Darkness is a good one. But there's also the opposite. You need the good guys to have the Book of Exalted Deeds, is the opposite to the Vile Darkness. And if you run the rules of Vile Darkness, you need to look into and implement these rules as an antidote, so to speak. So if you make the demons that much more powerful than devils and necromancers and stuff, you need to make the paladins and the clerics of the good side more powerful. And that's what this book is about. So they are kind of twins. This is the good mechanics, and the vile is the evil mechanics.
At my table, that Book of Exalted Deeds never saw the light of day.
Yeah, they're both there. Yeah, and I agree. They're sometimes overcomplicated, but also overpowerful. So they make it kind of a little bit too much.
Let me check something.
Yeah.
But I like the idea, so to speak, and I want to add mechanics to it, but I don't want it to be much more powerful. It should be within the realms of the math of the game, so to speak. Don't make the box bigger, because that makes it more difficult. So yeah, play with the rules you have, but make interesting variations. And that is really difficult to do. Really, really difficult. I'm experimenting. Yeah.
I'm looking through here. I thought
Napoleon.
Yeah.
So,
for instance, sorry.
Go ahead, Ann. Go ahead.
No, I've been babbling now, so please go ahead.
My voice is starting to go, so
yeah.
Please, I'm looking in here for. I thought there were some noted. I'm looking through Dark Druids. I thought there were some noted. Oh, here they are.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dark Druids. And Threxus, Demon Lord of Pestilence.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yep.
I believe it's Anthraxis, which is Aemon, right? I think
He
that's
was in
Gay
Monster Manual
Gaemon.
2 originally, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is right, and here's a Thresher demon.
Mm-hmm.
These are right from Dark Druids.
Yep.
I knew they were in here. See if there's any
Mm-hmm.
others misbegotten. I think they're the
Yep.
two. Here's a Black Circle demon.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. Is a rare creature who's summoned by those magic user clerics who are in league with dark evil forces. So that's kind of cool. And there's a whole series of, you know, bloodletting rituals and things to get it summoned. And then you have here the Thresher demons of massive roots and limbs thrusting forth from a central pod. So, and then Anthraxis. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So some stuff in there for Dragon 36 is a write up
Great name.
by Owen Casey Stevens of some weirdo named Gary. Ha 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 ha. Nice. Gary's very quiet tonight. So, give each of you give me a place or an idea for putting like some demons, devils, or even some of the slot or whatever in Greyhawk. Like a place you think it would be cool to
That
have.
there isn't already?
Yeah, like all right, some crazies trying to summon a lesser demon in Greyhawk City in their basement or something, right?
Right.
All sorts of stuff. I mean, a thread that can be used for Greyhawk Fiends, or it could be something existing.
Well, you have one obvious one that I think requires that many campaign material is the nail X and their sold their Great Kingdom was sold out to Asmodeus,
Okay.
so to speak, and took it over. I think that is an excellent story to pursue, so to speak, and have the Hextorian Church. And the whole Hextorian faith is run by Asmodeus, so to speak. And Hextor is the herald of hell. That was something that was introduced in third edition, and I think it's really really cool that he's the herald of hell, and Hextor is the and that makes sense that you have, meaning in my campaign I have Hextor is and Asmodeus, and is also an aspect of Tiamat, and Bahamut is or Heronius is an aspect of Bahamut. So you have Tiamat and Bahamut. They are battling it out over the Flannies over centuries, so to speak, and Asmodeus and Tiamat has then they kind of got hold of the Great Kingdom. But then you had the Blood War coming in because you have the Abyssal Maw and several others that was in trying to attack the Great Kingdom, the Death Knights and stuff. That is the Urflan and the Flan. They're evil masterminds that they adhere to, and their cults are starting being used against the Great Kingdom. And there you have Demogorgon, Orcus, and Grast, and Zuktmoy, and then later I use join that side, and that's how I use them, so to speak. It's not the demons are not the monster you have in the basement. Demons are the horrible villains that run whole empires, and they become they are the villain that it will take generations to slay, so to speak. That's how I run the demons, and then they have the little demons, the dretches and the rocks, and so on. They're servants that you can have in the basement. But if you do that, what you do is that you have a servant of one of the big bad evil guys, so to speak, that could be from one or the other side, so to speak. And they have their internal politics that plays out over the Flannies, both the internal between the evil ones and between the good and evil. And it plays out over centuries and in the Flannies, and it affects. And they recruit, and others who are power hungry, they search for someone to serve, and then they serve the other ones. And the good ones and the evil ones are intertwined. It's part of Greyhawk politics. And that's one way you can run it. Or you can just have it as a cool kind of spice, that meaning if you run if you're the local run-of-the-mill villain that runs a cool dungeon somewhere, and or wizard necromancer, and you want something to spice out your dungeon, then you can just insert one of these cool monsters and run with it. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that if that's what you prefer. Or you can overcomplicate it and turn it into big politics and all that, so to speak. Or you can just have fun with it, meaning the local evil, whatever, something has some of these in order to do his business or enhance his tenure or whatever it is. You can run the whole gamut from simple little things that add cool stuff to your adventures, or it can become the adventures themselves, campaigns over decades.
So this all I'm reading on this, and it says that and here in the Eve of the Undying that there's Balzaphon is
Mm-hmm.
the yeah is
That's the name for one of the names they try to use for Asmodeus or the
oh, it is okay.
mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
how I read it, so to speak. It's Asmodeus. He uses Hextor as the that's his way of getting in there, but then he wants to have a more hands-on approach, so to speak. So and not want to drag it. So he makes sure that the Naelix whole clan and so on noble house is devoted to him, so to speak, and loyal to
I've seen that
yeah.
Balzaphon is one of the Dark Eight pit
Mm-hmm.
fiends.
That could be, yeah.
I just curious, yeah, because
Yeah.
now they're talking about Duke Zephyrin and Pasriel here too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, you can.
okay, all right, all right. Just I just saw I never delved into the fiend discussion in this book. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like
Yeah.
Dark Gate. Remember, even it's from the Purge area. Yes, the Dark Gate.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good to know that there's some differences in here.
Yeah, but even when you had the era when they were purging the names, they didn't want to call things demons and devils and stuff. And the demons were the Tanari, and the devils became the Batesu. And then you had the Gerlefs, were the daemons, I think, or demodans, and the Obriths and others. I like those names. I kind of like them. Yeah, I like them. That they're in some ways, yeah. So yeah, so I kept some of them.
Away from religious connotations.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and I want to
I
stay away.
I haven't used those terms in a long
haven't
time,
either.
but I did like them.
Yeah, I like them too. So I like it when my fantasy is not have a direct analogy to real world religions and names and stuff. So yeah, but I realize that we have to live with Asmodeus and the devils and stuff. We have to.
Okay.
It's hard to get rid of them, but yeah. But then the Slavs and stuff. There's a bunch of interesting stuff. Okay. Yugolovs is another one of these terms that came in the second era. That I think those were the Demodans became the Yugolovs, I think, or were they the Geraliths? I forgot which. But hang on a second.
That's the thing I don't know.
We can see here. We can. We can see here.
You go.
We can see here the Geraliths were the Demodans, and the Yugolovs were the daemons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Daemons.
Yep.
Tenari or demons.
Tenari were the demons. Yeah. Right. Batesu were the devils.
Are they all sergeant-isms?
No, they were second era isms when they went after the all the satanic panic. When second edition came, they renamed them in the Monsters Compendium.
What demons? What devils?
Exactly. Yeah. So they renamed them and to give them more kind of fantasy names. So yeah.
Yeah. A lot of any changes, we were just like, you know what, we're sticking with what we do.
Yeah. And to me that was I didn't mind that. I thought it was kind of cool. So yeah. But some people probably thought it was to give in to the crowd, so to speak.
So a Gord question in the Gord novels: how many demons does Gord slay? I mean,
I think he slays one in the first. The Saga of Old City, there is a demon, even on the cover, there is a demon on the cover of the book that he slays in the Aborals. There is a demon that guards the treasure in the end, and it's I forgot it's a special type of demon that is not in the monster manual that Gary invented for the book. I forgot what kind it is, but it had a special type. It's described at the end of the book at the after the footnotes. Sorry,
Catabaline.
Cataboline, yes, exactly. That's the type of demon. I think that
Okay.
was the first demon he slew in Saga of Old City, and then he goes on to the later books. He slays several different things here and there. And then he was up in, and he had a fight with some, I think it was Infestix or Nero himself
Oh.
up in the fight somewhere. I forgot where it was. And he also slays a fiendish warg or big pig in a small little town called Tusham north of Crockport. It's on my map. There's a little town called Tusham, and that's they have a problem with a devilish pig that is out in the forest, and he takes a spear, and Geller and Gord and Shirt and the others, they go out and they kill it, and that thing is a demon disguise or devil disguise or
Was it
something.
Rakshasa, Chris? Is that what you're saying? Was it Rakshasa? The
I'm
pig?
not sure. Yeah, I think it was presented. I think it was kind
Huh.
of a pictures in the pig. Yeah, there was something hidden, fiendish hidden in the pig,
God,
so
I
to
love
speak. So
Rakshasas.
yeah, and that was in Tusham near Crockport. So that's another type of creature like this. So yeah, a dire wireboard, wereboard. Yeah, it was something like that, and that was something he slew. So there's a lot of critters that are in this range of monsters, so to speak, that he slays over the books, and then the end it becomes very convoluted and weird in the latest books. So in the end, when the dance of demons will come, endless darkness and stuff, it gets all weird and stuff.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep.
So look, we bounced around a lot on this, and unfortunately Alan couldn't make it, and he would probably have gone into a little more detail on like the ways of summoning and talismans and soul
Well, we could have
objects.
gotten mechanics. We could have talked about that. That's something for Gabin. We can talk whole 2 hours in a Gabin about
Yeah, we'll
these
see if we can
rules.
get Alan back for
Hmm.
an Alan or a
We
Gavin on
should,
that.
yeah, we
Yeah,
should have that because that's an interesting part, and I think it's something that should, and I should post more. I need to refine these
hey
rules
Gary.
a little bit because I've been house ruling these things for 20 years, so I need to codify it in a 5e version of it. I'm in the way of doing that, and rules for flying creatures and stuff too. Demogorgon is an interesting one too. Yeah,
Yeah, and Demogorgon created the Death Knights, which is
yeah.
it's just a really, when you think about it, does Demogorgon fit Greyhawk?
I think it does. If you take that the Urflan were a conglomerate of cults that worshipped all sorts of nasty stuff back in the day, and then you tie it into Flan AirD politics, then you can make it make sense.
I'll say this though: the original Scott Benny article had the four great saints, right? The saint article. So Saint Kargath comes right from that article, and it was a Death Knight from
Mm-hmm.
Demogorgon, but it's got to be his homebrew campaign. So
Yeah,
I
but
think that's a
you can
retcon.
switch. Yeah, you can switch out
There you go, Gary.
Demogorgon for another one too if you want to. You don't need to use Demogorgon. You can use
Sounds like Gary's
some
working
other
on
demon.
something. There's more coming, so he must be
Yes.
working on
Yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So very cool, guys. I am feeling really under the weather, so I'm pushing it
Mm-hmm.
along here if you don't mind.
Yep.
So hopefully I'm
No problem.
not sure if I'm even going to be able to go to work tomorrow or even
Yikes.
stream tomorrow. Yeah, I'm
Uh-oh.
trying.
Yep.
My wife's got strep and everyone is not feeling
Hmm.
well. So yeah, but she's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't think I have it, but I'm just
Yep.
I'm not 100% here. So why don't we do some shout outs?
Sure.
We'll do uh oh my god, my brain shut off.
Z-
Giveaway, and then we'll read into someone. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'm going. Yes, I'm probably gonna stay home. I got everyone coming. Hopefully, we'll be able to play tomorrow night, but we'll see. So
Yep.
all right, Mike, what's going on with you? Anything going on?
Well, shout out to everyone who's putting in on virtual Greyhawk Con.
Yes,
Shout out to Rich's campaign. He's really bringing the pain, you could say, in his game. We've probably saw more than our fair share of demons in that one.
that's good.
Um,
Demons are good, man.
and
Mm-hmm.
other things that lurk undersea. or in the clouds right now. Anyhow, besides that, I have a new blog post.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, it takes me a while, but I eventually get around to one. I have done an A to Z on named Fiends. So
Oh, nice
you
one,
can read all
man.
oh,
about the other
That's
20
awesome.
oh,
demons that were not
awesome.
mentioned tonight.
Great one, Mike.
Um,
Kostichi, yes.
yeah, there is. Curtis was talking about that cover. That's one of my favorite Dragon magazine covers.
Hmm. Yep,
Um,
Excellent,
I
Mike.
love it too.
Excellent. That's an
He's
so
excellent article.
awesome. Yep.
Excellent
have
post.
have fun with that.
Perfect.
That's it.
Well, we appreciate the shout out for Greyhawk. I'll do another one real quick here too when we get to me. And so, Anna, what's going on with you?
I posted a new banner on the Flanish Geographical Society that I'm teasing Critwall. It's coming. The first version of Critwall, my first GIS project, is coming. I've done all the maps, and now I just need to write up the text around it and do some I put the logos on top and stuff. So the graphic is done. I just need to write the text around it, so to speak. And there will be top-down versions of the crit wall, labeled and unlabeled, and there will be some 3D views. There will be historic maps. If you looked at my mapping live stream last week, you saw me making them. So there will be a touch back to crit wall in the 200s when there was on the height of the Great Kingdom, what crit wall looked like back then, and then back in the old Flan days of somewhere around 100 or so BCE, so before common years, back in the Flan days, what Critwell was back when it was basically a Flan hill fort. And those are lower resolution just to get a sense of it. So I'm writing down a brief history on my version of Critwall and a few of the landmarks and put it up as my first GIS based project. And I'm really happy with how it turns out, considering it's the first project. So it was my learning project, so to speak, and you always learn, but it was the first one, and I'm really happy with the results. So it's coming soon. I just need to write this stuff. But we've had record heat. We've had 110 degrees for a couple of days, so it's been hot here. So I got up 3 a.m. in the morning, so I haven't had that many hours to work, as many hours as I wanted to. But it's coming. We are getting lower temperature, which means I can do more renders and work more. So there will be a live stream on mapping live stream on Friday as usual, and no game on Sunday and stuff, but it's coming. So yeah. So the crit wall project is coming, and I'm pleased with the results, and I just need to write the text. And you guys know writing is not my forte, so it takes a couple of days to go through the writing, so to speak. But I love to do it in a way, but I'm not good at it, so it takes a bit of time. But it turns out to be good for being my first city project, local area project. I'm happy with the result.
Very cool. Anna.
So thank you everyone who supported me to go through all this, to start getting stuff, because now I know how to do it. I can crank out a lot of stuff, and now I can also put all of this knowledge together for Altamira. That is the one I'm working on on the sides here, so to speak. But I wanted to figure out how to do things, and now I figured out how to do things. So now we can actually go in and make more cities and local areas much faster than crit walls. So it's kind of cool. There's also some new software coming. So when I get a little bit of budget again, there's some new really cool tools coming. So when I get the money, then hopefully in a month or two I can upgrade and we can make some even better cool stuff coming in the future. So yeah.
Excellent. Back to Virtual GrowdCon. I know we had not as many people on, but I'll go over this one quick more time before. There are only 17 non-seminar events left with signups. So if you haven't gotten in, there's still some really great games. Get in the game. But look,
Yeah, Rick's Phil is it will be very soon. If you there are already screenshots, and I have probably about 15 or 20 articles on mapping Shieldlands and so on. And now there will be it will come out, but it will be available to everybody very, very soon. But it will be to my patrons first, and then to everybody very soon. So it's coming. Yep, and there are already some stuff there. So yep.
There's your link for VirtualCon if you haven't signed up yet. Nominal fee $5, but there are a lot of events still. I would suggest you could probably, if you haven't, you could probably put an event in. But I just don't want people unsigning other stuff to get in new events, because I don't think that's fair to those that are signed up. So please don't do that. Please don't unsign up for something you're already in. Because I know a lot of these are working. Have worked hard, to submit their events and all, and so please keep it that way. But we got a lot of really great things that are available. If you want to do something at 1 o'clock in the morning, all along the Watchtower, 1 o'clock, going into Saturday late night. That's Friday late night into Saturday morning. We got Brunch in the Dying Earth. Only one sign up. Goes to Saltmarsh Final Enemy, one sign up. Child of the Apple, that's Amy's, one sign up. That deserves way more. So there's games that can use a couple of signups to get them functioning. Get to 3 or 4 signups, you're definitely going to run the event. So everything is going to plan here. This is the most signups we've had within the first 5 days. So it's a fantastic job, community, as Mike said. I really appreciate that. So hopefully I'll be able to play tomorrow night. And if I do, new adventure. Actually not, but this is I call it Shrine of the Quaddle. I changed it from a name. It is a Skip Williams publication from when he did stuff on the site back in the day, him and his wife. Kind of slightly changed the name, so you probably can figure out which one it is if you know anything about those. But we are running this the next 2 weeks, and just some I got the town set, and here's the group going into town here. So this name of town's Pearl Glen, and I've placed that here somewhere along this coast. It's probably between Sandy Shores, which is mine, and Karnak. So somewhere along here, we're going to put another little community, all right, called Pearl Glen in there, which is the name of the town that Skip has in his adventure. So that's what we're going to do next couple weeks, and that'll be and then having a game Sunday night. We should have, as long as I'm not away at a barbecue, a late night barbecue. I don't think I will be, but I'll know by Friday, and we'll probably do the discussion on druids, Anna, because Will's available, you're available, I'm available, so we'll probably do that on Sunday.
That sounds fun.
And that's it. So let's do the giveaway. You get your choice of 2. You don't have to tell me right away either. So find the newbie style gameplay. Yes, I would get into. You can get into a lot of stuff. So I would just take a look at them. I'm sure, like Amy would help you out in Child of the Apple. I'm sure that the Zeef game with Indicarus, there's not going to be a game that they're going to, not be welcoming. So I would take a look at something, and if it's interests you, sign up for it. It's $5 plus a nominal TTE fee, so it tends to $6.13 or something total. But you do need a credit card. It doesn't take PayPal. So if you can't get in, contact me direct, and I'll work it out outside of the normal credit card channels if you can't use a credit card and you only have PayPal. All right, so Shrine of the Quaddle is the name of the adventure, and that will be tomorrow night. Hopefully I don't get worse, but I'm taking some stuff already. All right, let's do the giveaway here. Last call, exclamation point drawing. See who wins their choice of 2 tonight, and we'll have a Portrait Workshops subscription to Portrait Works, and one other giveaway tomorrow night. So here we go. There you go. See, look at that. Thessalodorian is Amy there. Gnome Drunksky, and she's chatting right there. So they and can help you. All right, just get in something that interests you. Yep. So you can always reach out to her right there. You can direct whisper, and she'd be more. Everyone in the community is very nice, so I wouldn't worry about it. Would not worry about it. All right. So here we go. I'm going to close this out. And the winner tonight, Caesar, 2000 Caesar. Awesome. All right, get with me, Caesar. You don't have to get with me right away if you want to, because I'm crashing. So I have Fiend Folio Treasures, which you probably have. Compilation books. What else I got? I have a Temple of Elemental Evil. I have an Asshole Husband Against the Slave Lords. So I got some good stuff here. And the Fiend Folio, and then you can get one adventure too. All right? Good to see everyone. Anna, Mike, thank you. I haven't raided Estella in a while, and she's running a Greyhawk game. So I'm just going to raid Estella Luna tonight. Say hello.
Perfect.
Over there. All right?
Yeah.
So everyone, enjoy your nights. Thanks for the support.
See you later, guys.
I will let you know ahead of
you.
time if it doesn't go off. I'll put it in posts. But I love to play tomorrow night. It's on the table. So we'll see you soon. I'm going to the wrong button. I know I am in my mental state here.
Bye,
everyone. Look at that, 10:02. Good timing. Yeah, thank you. All right, setting the raid up. See if we can get over 60. There we go. Awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully see you tomorrow night. Let's hope.
Yeah, popped over.
All right, let me end this. Sorry, guys.